for a person when they say, the only person that this emotion of hatred or anger or frustration or resentment, the only person that this is hurting is me.
성공을 위한 채널. 오늘날 사람들이 겪는 제일 큰 질병은 스트레스죠. 스트레스로 인해 병이 들고 삶이 피곤하게 느껴지죠. 그럼 어떻게 해야 스트레스를 안 받을 수 있을까요? 그 방법에 대해 조 디스펜자가 제시해줍니다. 어떻게 해야 우리는 스트레스로부터 자유로워질지, 어떻게 조절해야 할지 알아봅시다.
Stress is when your brain and body are knocked out of homeostasis. Stress is when your brain and body are knocked out of balance. The stress response is what the body innately does to return itself back to balance. The problem is that if you keep turning on that fight or flight system, you keep turning on that emergency system, you'll actually cause people to stay out of balance, and that imbalance becomes the new balance, and they're headed for some type of disease, some type of breakdown. No organism can tolerate emergency mode. The hormones of stress heighten the senses. In a lot of ways, we turn into more of a primitive self. So it's hard to change that, especially when you don't have enough money, or you just lost your job, or you just ended a relationship, or your best friend passed. It's really hard to move beyond those emotional states. And so I think that teaching people how to change those emotional states and move out of those are really important. And the model of change is unlearning and relearning. It's breaking the habit of the old self and reinventing a new self. It's pruning synaptic connections and sprouting new connections. And actually rehearse a greater way. Rehearse it enough times so that you could actually step into that footprint. Teach your body emotionally that there's another way to feel, and do it over and over again. It'll become familiar to you.
And what do those biological changes look like?
And there are dramatic changes in the way their brain works, very significant changes. Some of them are really outstanding changes. We teach people how to create more heart coherence. When you feel anger, when you feel frustration, when you feel impatience, when you feel resentment, your heart beats out of order. When you feel gratitude, when you have kindness and care, when you feel love for life, your heart beats in a more orderly fashion. You can actually train somebody to get good at feeling that way. So then teaching people then a little bit about how to manage their emotional state and to self-regulate, I think is a great gift for people. They're basically saying, I had an event in my life, and since that event, I'm still living by the same emotion and I haven't been able to change. And they'll tell the story of that past. And in psychology, the latest research on memory shows that 50% of that story isn't even the truth. They're making it up because they don't have the same brain as they had then. And so then people are reliving a miserable life they never even had just to excuse themselves from changing. And they embellish the stories so that it sounds really hard to change. So what is that point then for a person when they say, the only person that this emotion of hatred or anger or frustration or resentment, the only person that this is hurting is me. It's not reliving the past. You don't need to talk about it. All you need to do is overcome the emotion. When you overcome the emotion, you're free from the past. You can see it from a greater level of consciousness.
스트레스로부터 자유로워질 방법은 일어날 상황에 대해 미리 연습하는 것입니다. 앞으로 일어날 일을 예측하여 자신의 감정을 조절하는 것이죠. 그렇게 감정 조절을 잘하게 되면 생각의 폭이 넓어지고 자유로워질 것이고 더 높은 의식 수준을 가지게 되어 성공할 것입니다. 재미있게 보셨다면 구독과 좋아요 부탁드려요.